a lap by, bring it right back to your fans. I don't even know if they notice me. They don't even know that we wait.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Houston Texans. On the visiting sideline, their head coach. His team 5 wins over their last 7 games. Opposite him on the Texans sideline, DeMeco Ryans. His guys ready to feed off the energy in this building as they try to win one in front of... The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Hoosier, their rookie quarterback from Indiana.
And I thought it was a really nice performance last week by him. 3 touchdown passes. I think that signifies exactly what he was getting done. He did have the 1 interception.
That's the ratio you say you're okay with, right?
If you go 3 to 1, you're going to be pretty happy over the course of the season. And let's face it, he'll never blame the receiver publicly. But behind closed doors, he probably told his agent, hey, what's the deal? I should have had a perfect game.
That's caught. Jack Besh with it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On first down, it's Genty. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The time called here because a member of the Texans is in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. Mendoza operating from the gun. Throw right side looked in here by Besh. Here is 3rd and 5. Looking to throw. Mendoza. Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
Las Vegas, first down. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Back to throw. Mendoza. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete. The Raiders at 500, 7-7 on the year. They've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution.
Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get the football back at their own 17. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Stroud looking to throw. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Throwing now is Stroud. That's caught again by Schultz. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
Brings up 3rd down and 2.
Stroud. That is caught. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. 2 first downs have him up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Play action. Stroud now. His throw incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Stroud to throw it. He'll complete this one to Collins. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5.
It's a gain of 5. Brings up
now Stroud. Open man is Higgins. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Stroud sets up the play action. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That's good for a first down, his 2nd catch of the opening drive.
1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
Going up the gut, Montgomery. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the 2nd quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football. From the 6 now on 2nd and 3. As they've got it as we resume action. Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call a no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Schultz. 1st and goal. A chance to convert that early turnover into points.
First down. 1st and goal at the 2-yard line.
Montgomery will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. So a great start. They force the turnover on the other side and then take it down the field on their first drive and finish it off with a short touchdown run.
Nice and efficient, excellent job blocking, finds the gap and barrels into the end zone. Great way to finish off that drive.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And the Texans take a 7-0 lead. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. 2nd drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Short throw caught by Bowers. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Mendoza. And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now to punt this one away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They've got the 7-0 lead. Now they've got the football back after their defense got the stop, CD. And you get the feeling if they could score here, they'd really have all the momentum on their side.
And you just wonder right now, is the quarterback and the play caller totally in sync? Are they of one mind that, hey, what worked last time?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders pick it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. Some guys just have a knack for creating turnovers. He's got a little bit of that going. He forced a fumble last week, another one there.
And it just drives teams crazy because they realize that certain guys, as you said, have that knack, and they're trying to keep them away from the action, away from the ball. But the best ones have that overwhelming desire, that overwhelming need.
Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn it into first downs and hopefully points.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Here's Stroud. This one left side caught by Collins. Now 2nd and 3.
To Nico Collins. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
Play action. Here's Stroud. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
First down.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game.
The 20-yard line.
And Stroud now to throw. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Stroud. This pass complete to Higgins. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Back to throw. Stroud. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. Touchdown! David Montgomery. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
One of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. this years. He's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Throwing to start the drive. Mendoza. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates going to check on it, because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. That's complete. It's Collins. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. 2nd and a couple. Looking to throw. Stroud. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Pitch and catch to Moreau, the tight end. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Here's a 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap to Stroud. He's got Higgins over the middle. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 12-yard line. The Texans going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Out of the end zone.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Defended by DeCamerion Richardson.
Here goes Stroud again. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. Throw out wide is incomplete. The Raider defense strong on that one in coverage, and now it's 4th.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Mendoza now. A final shot before break. And this one is incomplete. So halftime straight ahead. It is time to join our good friend Scott Hansen. He's got our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, Brandon, thank you. Final 3 weeks of the regular season. The regular season witching hour, when playoff teams become also-rans and also-rans become playoff teams. Let's dive in. Our look at the NFL starts now. In Charlotte, the Panthers at home to take on the Bucs in an NFC South matchup. And this is Chris Godwin. He's so good working down the field, hauls this one in stride. A 55-yard touchdown. The Buccaneers get the victory here. They win it by 10. From there, let's go to Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Check in on the Titans as they host the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's the rookie, the #1 pick in the draft, Cam Ward. This one of a pair of rushing touchdowns for him on the afternoon. Lastly, let's go out to the desert, Glendale, Arizona. The Cardinals taking on the Atlanta Falcons. and it's the veteran Austin Hooper. He's going to look in the catch and then look upfield and watch this. 69 yards for the touchdown catch. The Falcons find a way to pull this one out as they escape with the narrow win. With that, time for a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Things getting interesting now as the regular season starts to wind down. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been back and forth to this point. No reason to expect anything different in the second half, as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
A very one-sided first half, 17-0 our score as we get going in quarter number 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Stroud off the play fake. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And they regroup defensively after the broken tackle, getting to him just beyond the 45.
Yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 46-yard line.
Running left, Montgomery. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do, and right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
That is going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 41-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 41. Operating from the gun, Stroud. Yeah, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
A quick throw taken in by Diggs. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Stroud. And the Raiders have got him. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4. Boy, every time I see speed like that off the edge, Charles, I just don't know how these offensive linemen do it. I would think that they would get called for holding every play, and maybe they should have been called for holding on that one.
Yeah, maybe not just holding, but sometimes you end up setting back in the offensive backfield a little bit farther to try and help you with the edge. That's a penalty as well. Sometimes you overset, they'll come inside of you. That's what speed does. It disrupts an offense. And right now, you've got to pay attention to this edge rusher on every single down.
Looking to put a drive together. And here's Mendoza throwing to start the drive. Pass complete to Naylor, right side. 2 yards to go, 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup brings up 2nd and 10.
A run straight ahead with Genty. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. He'll try to pick it up himself. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Offside, defense.
play fake here on first down. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Mendoza in trouble, and he's taken down. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll try and do this himself. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. Cole now on to punt, and he sends this one away. One quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the 4th. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. To Montgomery to begin the drive. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 53 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 41, here's 2nd and a couple. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Stroud looking to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with the 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Mendoza under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes the sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. Looking to throw. Mendoza. That one complete to Naylor. He'll be dropped at the 30. The first broken tackle was there, but couldn't bust free. Short completion, just 4 yards. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. And he will not be able to hang on to the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
First down. A gain of 50 yards.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Up the middle, it's Jansen. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
And the Las Vegas first down. first and goal at the 8.
Operating from the gun. Mendoza caught on the slant. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Trey Tucker, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Two scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Stroud working out of the gun. That'll go as a loss of 9, and it leads to third down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
The Texans send the punter out as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Short throw caught by Bowers. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derek Stingley picks it, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, it's not the first time we've seen him give one up here during his rookie season, and in this case, zone coverage forced the mistake. He's made some strides week to week in how he's handling the different type of coverages that he's seeing, but clearly there's some growing still to do.
Houston set to take over. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. Charles, in these lower scoring games, you know it better than anybody. Points are at such a premium, but taking care of the football is king. They play turnover free from whistle to whistle, and they come through with a victory.
Yeah, and that's what won them the game, because even doing it that way, being that clean partner, they weren't able to really run away with this game. So that tells us just how important it was to make sure you played mistake-free football. That led to the victory.